What's up guys, Nightclub here, back with another video. This video I'm just going to be going over how I made this like futuristic glow old Chief Keef slash speaker knockers type beat. I had recently uploaded it and I just wanted to make a video on how I made it and like go through all the sounds. I'll start out by just playing the beat so you guys can hear what it sounds like in case you haven't heard it yet, and then I'll go through each sound and kind of just talk about it. Yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, that's a little preview of it. And let's start. I'll first talk about how I did the intro. I don't always do this on the intros for these type of beats, but a lot of times it does sound good. So what I do is I just bounce out like a section of it. So say like this section or this section, I'll bounce it out and make that the intro. And then I just go ahead and put like effects on it. In this case, I just put on a Fruity Love filter, and then I just turn down the bass a little bit so it doesn't hit as hard as like the rest of the beat, since it's just the intro. That's pretty much what I did there. I put like little effects, little down filter effects. I did like the old school Young Chop like riser right here, so it's like a classic. And then I put little effects like on the one, so right when the beat hits, so like this little like glass effect. That's it for the intro. Now I can talk about like all the specific sounds. So for these like futuristic glow beats, I always use strings, brass, and this little like glow pluck lead effect. So that's pretty much like the basic things that I always have on like every futuristic glow Chief Keef, old Chief Keef, speaker knockers type beat. So I started out with this these strings from Nexus, the Nexus VST synth plugin. And that's what these sound like. Nothing crazy there. So what I usually do is I start out with just the basic strings, so you can see like these notes right here, and then these bigger notes I added like after. So like if I didn't add these, we can see what that sounds like. Like say I deleted those. So it still sounds good, right? Like it sounds like it would probably still sound good, but just adding that extra little note there just gives it like a different feel, a different bounce. So yeah, I added that, and that's the strings. And then I did the glow plug. So this is from Purity, and that's what this sounds like. Super simple. Yeah, it's pretty much the same like melody all throughout, except at the very end I changed this D sharp to A sharp. So yeah, just to switch it up a little bit. So yeah, those are like two of the sounds that I use on pretty much every like futuristic glow beat. And for the effects on that, I just have what do I have on that? 6. We'll go back here. So yeah, I just have like an echo, a delay, and then this spreader plugin. I think this is like a stock FL, and yeah, I just like it's basically just the stock, and then I just boost this up, and this is just making the sound wider. So instead of it all being just in mono, it makes it stereo, and it makes it on both speakers, so the left and right speakers. It just makes it sound wider. You don't have to do that, but I just chose to do that on this one. I don't always do that. So yeah, that's the glow plug. Next is just a Nexus orchestra hit. This sounds like, and this is just like the bass notes. Very simple. Next, this little brass lead. That's kind of like tucked away like in the bag. You don't hear it that loud when the full beat plays, but it just gives it a nice like orchestral band type feeling, marching band type. Next is this like bass from Serum. It's just following the bass notes from my melody. kind of like a Moogie type bass. Very low key again, just in the back. Next is just a crash. A lot of like the old Chief Keef beats have this type of crash. Let's throw that in there. Next is pretty much the same strings that I showed you right here. I just made those into like the chord progression. So instead of them hitting, like I just made them long, like a long chord progression, so you can hear what that sounds like. Let me start it from the beginning. So yeah, that's literally just these, but just longer. And there I use this plugin called SRX Strings, and it's just like the first preset. That like right when you open the VST, that's what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much all like the sounds. Very simple. Like literally, like I said earlier on these Futuristic GLO, the main star of the beat of every beat is pretty much going to be like the strings, the glow pluck, and yeah, like the bass and all that. Like, but the main things you need are those to make it. In my opinion, now obviously people are gonna, you can make Futuristic GLO beats that don't have strings, but I like using them in pretty much every one that I do. Next are just some of the drums, very simple. I can just play those together, like the hi-hat, clap, snare, open hat. The simple clap and like the young chop snare. Yeah, not rocket science there, very simple. Lastly, just the 808, and this is just following, like I've said at the beginning, the bass notes. So in case you don't know, like what is he saying? What does he mean by the bass notes? So it's literally just like these notes down here. So like the C, the G sharp, the D sharp, and the A sharp. And you don't always have to put the bass on the bass notes. Like 90% of the time they sound good though. Like if you want it to sound if you want it to sound like they're not out of key or, you know, too melodic, you usually want to do that. Not always though. Sometimes you can throw in different notes and they still sound good. But if you're like kind of like a beginner, or if you just want to play it safe, the bass notes from your melody, you just use those as your 808 notes. So that's what these sound like. Go right here. So yeah, those are the notes, and like, again, like I said, it's the C, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, exactly what we saw up here on the strings. C, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp. So yeah, that's pretty much all the sounds. For arrangement, I like to, like I said at the beginning, I like to bounce out like 4 to 8 bars from my beat and then make it into audio and then put like the Fruity Love filter or some type of effect. You don't have to use Love filter if you don't have FL Studio, but some type of like audio effects to make the intro sound different or like muffled, or you could take out the highs to give it like the underwater feel. And what I mean by that is literally go to like an EQ and like EQ out the high frequencies and maybe some of the low ones. Like I did on this one, I took out some of the low frequencies just so it wouldn't hit as hard as like the rest of the beat. So yeah, arrangement, do the intro, and then I like to have like 16 bars of the hook, and then another 16 of the what's it called, the verse. So right here, and actually on this one I only have, let me see, yeah, so it's 8 bar. It's actually only 8 bars of with these sounds, but then I switch it up, so it's not, this whole thing is the hook right here, this right here. So it's 16 bars of the hook, and then right here is kind of like the intro of the verse. So like I'll play that part, and then right back into the verse. So that's what I like to do. I like to like take out a lot of the sounds. Once you play your hook, I take out like a bunch of the sounds just to give it like a chill vibe, and then back into the verse. You could throw back in the 808 and the rest of your drums, and you could build it up. So you could see here how it's like I put in some of the sounds, but then I don't have like the crash and like the full strings yet, And then up here I add the brass. So, you know, it kind of still builds up even within the verse. So everything doesn't sound exactly how it did on the hook also. And obviously after the verse, you know, right back into the hook. And a lot of the times, like 90% of the time, I'll literally just like copy and paste what I had as the first hook back into the second hook. And I might do little changes here and there sometimes. But you don't have to. Like a lot of times it'll just sound good just doing it exactly the same. But if you want to do a little changes, I could do like some of the 808s a little bit different, or maybe take out the snare on like the first half and bring it in on the second half. Maybe take out some of the strings to, you know, give us some kind of like a different feeling from your first hook. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole beat, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you guys want me to do like one of my other beats, like, pretty much like any beat I upload to YouTube, if you guys want me to like do like a breakdown, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to do that for y'all. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys take it easy, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.